Good day, everyone. So, welcome to our recorded session or asynchronous. Hoping na naririnig ako ng maayos. So, for our lesson today, we will discuss the following: paints, purpose of paintings, properties, the definition of terms, medium, painting subjects. So, most of the activities ay nagawa naman na natin in painting. Pero meron pa tayong mga gagawin pang iba pang mga activities dito. So our topic for today is medium and techniques in the art. So when we say medium, it is the term refers to the materials which are used by an artist to create works of art to interpret his feelings or thoughts. Media denotes the means by which an artist communicates his idea. The plural of medium is media. The medium an artist chooses for a given work has an important bearing on how the artwork or work is going to look, and not all media lend themselves to the same expressive ends. Kasi magkakaiba naman talaga tayo ng, depende rin kasi yan sa tinatawag nating genre. Okay? And when we say technique, it is the manner in which the artist controls the medium to achieve the desired effect. It is the ability with which the artist fulfills the technical requirements of his particular work of art. It has something to do with the way he manipulates his medium to express his ideas in the artwork. That is what we call the technique. Very own kasi ito. Kung sinabi nating technique, si artist A at saka si artist B, kahit pareha silang magaling, magkaiba sila ng pagpe-present, pag-apply ng mga colors, pag-apply ng kung ano mang pintura kung yan ay related sa painting. So again, so allow me to present the screen. Ayan. Allow me to present the screen once again. Join now. Oo, nawala yung aking. So may mga ganito pagkakataon habang nagre-record. Sana nakikita ulit. Ayan, okay. Balikan natin. Pag sinabi natin technique, very own siya. Kumbaga, kahit pakambal tayong dalawa, mahilig tayo sa pagpipaint. Magkaiba tayo ng application process. Kaya meron tayong tinatawag na technical qualities. That is technique. So let's proceed to painting. Painting is the art of applying pigment to a surface in order to present a picture of the subject. For example, an artist working on an oil painting of harvest time chooses the pigments. So kumbaga sinasabi dito na dapat piliin mo yung kulay doon sa mismong nababagay. Okay, kung ano yung kulay ng balat, ayan, di ba? Halimbawa, sa balat ng tao, ano bang mas accurate na gamitin? Kasi kapag oil painting, ang appearance nito dapat realistic ang mapalabas mo. O realistic talaga yung maibibigay niya. Okay? Meron din tayong mga other surface like wood. Hindi lang po canvas palagi, no? We have concrete. Meron nga rin sa mga damit natin before. Bago pa yan maging heat press. Dati pahid-pahid muna, no? Okay, prior to the selection of the pigments, so dapat alam natin yung mga ways on how to present the art. That is realism, surrealism, abstractionism, and many others. So what are the purposes of painting? So dati kasi, to commemorate historical events. Hanggang ngayon naman, kasama pa rin siya. At hindi siya mawawala. Kasi siya ang nagsisiwalat na nag-exist pala yung mga ganitong bagay. Kagaya nung nakita natin sa subjects, di ba? Na marunong na palang mag-drawing ang mga sinaunang tao. Yun nga lang, ang gamit nila is bato, charcoal, or kung ano mang kagamitan na unang nag-exist. For recognition of religious activities. Yan ang katotohanan, no? Nga may mga naunang religion na nag-exist before the other. Meron pa ang di ba? Yung mga prehistoric man na kapag nakakahuli sila ng mga baboy ramo or ano mang pwede nilang kainin, may inaalay sila at sumasayaw sila. Okay, that is part, no? May mga ganong painting na pinapakita na wala pang mga formal na kasulatan about their religion or paniniwala. Purposes ng painting. Nakita natin yun dahil sa painting, no? Dati wala pa naman kasing pang record eh. Wala pang cameras. Maswerte na tayo ngayon kasi yung camera natin integrated na sa ating mga cellphones. Okay? Wala na akong masyadong makita ngayon na dipindot. Bibihira na, no? Siguro yung mga dipindot ngayon ay maganda kasi ang mga dipindot na cellphone kapag pangtawag, yung mga ganun. Tapos pang kahit pambasagan, papalag talaga, no? So anyway, additional lang naman yan. So, kumbaga, ang pa-record natin ngayon kung gusto natin ma-record yung mga bagay-bagay is mabilis na. Okay. By means of capturing image. So, paints and materials, meron tayong tinatawag na composition ng materials. Pag sinabing paints, we have pigment, binder, and solvent. Ano pinagkaiba ng tatlo? So, alamin natin. So, before ganito talaga, si pigment siya po yung pinanggagalingan ng kulay. Siya po talaga yung mismong kulay. Either natural or synthetic. Pag binder naman po, siya yung pangdikit, no? Adhere the paint to a surface. Egg yolks, oil, and wax. Ayan po ang mga possible na pagpilian or pinagsasama. Pag sinabi naman natin solvent, hindi ito yung sinisingot nyo, ha? Oo. Joke lang po yan. Ito po ay nagpapabagal at nagpapabilis ng pagkatuyo ng isang pintura. Kapag oil-based, mas matagal ang pagkatuyo. Kaya kapag oil paint, hindi siya pwedeng hawakan agad-agad. Or hindi talaga siya pwedeng hawakan kasi may pagkakataon po na hindi talaga siya natutuyo agad. Then, water. Pag water, soluble po, usually, mas mabilis po yung kanilang drying time. Okay, that is solvent. Mediums and painting. So, we have many more. So, unang-una before na ginamit ng mga artists natin, the classical painters, ay oil and fresco. At marami pang iba, hindi lang nabanggit. Kumbaga, na-highlight lang ito. So, napakaraming pwedeng pagpilian na medium po sa painting. Marami kayong option. Depende sa paggamit. Ano ba yung mga pinagpipilian? Ano ba yung mga factors to consider? Bakit pinipili din? Siyempre, unang-una is yung presyo. Kaya ba natin? Magaling tayo, pero kaya ba natin bilhin? Pero kung mahusay talaga tayo sa painting, why not try natin yung iba? Kung nakakabenta ka naman, or kung ano pa man nang nagagawa mo, may commission man, no? Commission painting, commission portrait, and so on. Mag-invest ka rin sa gamit. Ganun naman din sa mga bumibili. Yung iba naman, wag niyong baratin. Sa totoo lang. Ang hirap kaya gumawa. Hindi lang isang araw, hindi lang 2 araw minsan ginagawa yan. Pinagpupuyatan pa. Lalo kapag may trabaho or working ang isang gumagawa. Okay? With the recent developments, painters must have turned to acrylic and poster colors, which are readily available in bookstores and department stores. Yun lang, no? So, sa napaka-flexible na po, marami na tayong pwedeng bilihan sa mga suking tindahan. Pagdating nyo sa Star Mall, meron sa SM, San Jose del Monte, dyan bandang Tungko, Walter Mart, napakarami yung option. Di ba? Pandayan, doon mas marami doon pwedeng magpagpilian. National Bookstore, and so on. So, bahala na kayo kung saan kayo mas sanay bumili. Okay, besides oil and fresco, artists may opt for watercolor, tempera, pastel, acrylic, and encaustic. So, pag-usapan natin kung ano yung mga gamit nito. Si oil painting po siya po ay nakakapagbigay ng realistic na approach or ng appearance after the painting. So, many painters prefer to use this type of medium because it is long-lasting, slow in drying, easy to handle and manipulate texturally and capable of being corrected. So, meron tayong dalawang process or method sa pag-apply. method tsaka indirect method. Kapag sinabing direct method po, ang painting po usually hindi siya gano'n realistic. Pero makikita natin yung final appearance niya is good looking pa rin naman. Okay, in which the paints are opaque and once they are applied on the surface, they dry up and give the finished product its final appearance. Pag indirect method naman po, the paint are transparent and they are applied in many ways. Thin layers or coatings, richness in the opacity of light and depth of shadows are some of its good effects. Kumbaga pag sinabing indirect method, marami pong layer ang makikita natin. Kumbaga pati shadow, ito yung example natin. Ito yung sa babang picture, i-widen nyo na lang. Pati yung lalim, kita natin, pati yung shadow ng bangka, yung dimension ng part na to, na yung ladder, makikita natin na may steps siya. And then makikita natin na mas malayo yung ibang bahay dahil nga yung kanyang light or brightness na mas maliwanag kapag nasa harapan at mas malabo na kapag mas malayo. So that is part ng indirect method. Yun yung mga factors to consider. Bakit siya indirect method? Okay, Vicente Manasalas, fruit vendor with twin sons, oil paint, pero cubism yung kanyang style. Ito po ay may pagka-indirect method. Ganon din si Fernando Amorsolo. Kung mapapansin nyo, indirect method din po siya. Ang galing ng pagkaagawa. Isa to sa mga idol pagdating sa realism. Okay, punta tayo sa Italian term ng fresco. Ito yung nararamdaman natin kapag naligo tayo ng malamig ngayong araw na to sa ganitong panahon. Fresco. So sana lagi tayong fresco. Yung iba naka-aircon, sana all. Sana all sa bills. Okay, joke lang. So wait lang. Okay, going back. So we have fresco. Italian for fresh painting. It is done with the use of earth pigments mixed with water and applied to fresh plaster or glue, which attach the color to the surface like a wall. When the plaster is wet, it is called or described as buon fresco or true fresco. On the other hand, when the plaster is dry, the painting is described as fresco seco or dry fresco. So ito pong mga nakikita natin ngayon, itong Last Supper ni Leonardo da Vinci at the creation of Adam or Man by Michelangelo Buonarroti. Ito po ay made of fresco. Okay? So mas kilala lang talaga itong si The Last Supper. So ito maraming beses inulit to ni Leonardo da Vinci kasi hindi naman talaga siya sanay gumamit ng fresco. So ang positive po kasi sa fresco is ang advantage muna tayo, no? Pangmatagalan talaga siya. Madekada, mapa-century, aabot siya. Yun nga lang, kapag ikaw ay nag-apply nito, dapat mabilis kang gumawa. Kasi mabilis nga siyang matuyo. So doon po nahirapan si Leonardo da Vinci. Si Michelangelo, talagang sanay na sanay dito. Kinokomisyon po siya dito ng mga obispo or mga pare during his time. Kasi ang usual na subject niya sa kanyang painting is usually mga saints. Mga religious. Okay, watercolor. Ito, madaling gamitin. So, nagawa nyo na ito. No? So, possible kapag nag-paint ulit tayo, hindi na natin siya isasama sa option natin. Pero, isa siya sa pinakamabilis na mai-provide ng isang individual. Kasi nga, mas cheaper siya rather than the other options, no? Besides white paper, cambric, parchment, ivory, and silk can be used as a surface or ground. So, marami tayong pwedeng magpilian. Yun nga lang, kapag painting watercolor, Dapat hindi gano'n karaming tubig kasi nabubutas din po yung ating mga papel, 'no. Dapat magaling kayo sa pag-apply or be careful, 'no, sa pag-apply. Pasensya na medyo nabubulol, medyo barado pa. Tempera painting. It is done with the use of ground pigments mixed with an albuminous or colloidal vehicle, egg yolk, gum, glue, or casein. Being an emulsion, tempera readily dries with the evaporation of water, and this characteristics is one of its advantages. So another advantage is its effect on the wooden panel, its ground or surface luminosity of tone. Si tempera naman po, hindi rin naman siya masyadong pinipili, no, ng mga artist kasi mas maganda siyang gamitin lang sa mga wooden panels. Pamprotekta na rin. Kay pastel, ito, gamit na gamit natin nung high school tayo, no, na kapag may ganito ka tapos marami, rich kid ka. It is done with the use of pastel colors. Parang ano siya, crayon-like din naman siya. Closely resembling dry pigments bound to form crayons, which are directly applied to the surface, oftentimes paper. So wala na tayong mixing-mixing na nangyayari dito before we apply on the actual paper, no? Unlike do sa mga nabanggit, si oil paint, kapag gusto mo ng another color, magmi-mix ka pa sa another ground bago mo i-apply agad. So dito sa pastel, nag-a-apply tayo diretso na. Sa very recent and very flexible medium pastel, it is not popular daw sa mga artist ngayon kasi nga makalat siya. Kaya kapag mag-a-apply kayo ng pastel, dapat hindi masyadong malapag ang kamay. Kung malapag ang kamay, dapat meron pong pamatong kasi kakalat at kakalat talaga siya. Iba tissue, nilalagyan nila yung tissue yung kamay nila kung lalapag kung sakali. Or another paper na scratch pero malinis po. Yung kumbaga ano lang, another paper. Next, acrylic. So acrylic painting is done with the use of synthetic paintings called acrylic mix with a vehicle capable of being thinned with water. Acrylic emulsion or polymer serve as its binding agent. One of the most widely used mediums today due to its availability in the market. So mas mura lang din siya, no. Acrylic paint possesses the flexibility of oil and the transparency and the fast drying ability of watercolor. Moreover, it is soluble in water. It can be applied on almost all surfaces and it has no tendency to crack and to darken or yellow with age. So matagal po siyang gamitin. Depende pa rin po sa experience po or sa skills po ng pag-a-apply, na mag-a-apply din. No? Yung iba kasi, hindi nila sinusunod yung process. Kaya nasisira din agad. So hindi lang po sa ganito nakalagay yung mga acrylic paint, no. Marami pong pwedeng lagayan ng acrylic paint. Napaka-flexible na po kasi niya ngayon. Iba nasa lata, nasa plastic, yung parang basta lagayan container and so on. Okay, let's proceed to encaustic. So encaustic painting is done with the use of hot wax as a vehicle to bind pigments to a wooden panel or a wall. Although it has the advantage of durability with its color remaining vibrant, and its surface maintaining a hard luster. Encaustic is not popular medium among painter because it is difficult to manipulate. Ang hirap niyang gamitin. Masyado kasi siyang malagkit. Kumbaga, pag in-apply. Yung iba ang ginagawa, yung mga sinaunang encaustic, kailangan pang tunawin. From wax, tinutunaw pa. Pero ngayon po, sa pagkakaalam ko, meron na po tayong mga modern version ng encaustics. Pero ganun pa man, siguro bago lang sa pandinig nyo to, yung iilan, sige. Ilagay nyo po dyan sa learning log ninyo na ngayon nyo lang napansin, kung ngayon nyo lang talaga napansin, itong si encaustic. Next, gouache, kung tawagin nila, gouache or gouache ang tawag nila, or opaque watercolor is a water medium paint consisting of natural pigment, water, a binding agent, usually gum, arabic, or dextrine, and sometimes additional inert material. Gouache is designed to be opaque. Gouache has a considerable history. having been used for at least 12 centuries. It is used most consistently by commercial artists for posters, illustrations, comics, and other design work. So, mas pinamahal na version siya ng watercolor. The binding agent has traditionally been gum arabic, but since the late 19th century, cheaper varieties use yellow dextrine. So when the paint is sold as a paste in tubes, the dextrine has usually been mixed with an equal volume of water. So, ano na siya, may mix na kagad siya. Yun ang kagandahan. Ito po yung mga appearance ng artwork made of wash. Okay, let's proceed to the Magna Paint. So, ano naman si Magna Paint? Okay, acrylic version naman siya. Magna is the brand name of an acrylic resin paint developed by Leonard Bocour and sold by Bocour Artist Colors Inc. in 1947. It is somewhat different from modern acrylic paint as it composed of pigments ground in an acrylic resin brought into emulsion through the use of solvents. So Magna paint has more of a shine to it than most modern acrylic. Kumbaga mas shiny siya. Glossier na rin ang finish niya. Kumbaga mas may kintab. So in 1960, Bucor Artist Color developed a waterborne acrylic paint named Aquatec. Okay? Modern acrylic paint is water soluble while Magna is miscible with turpentine or mineral spirits. Though both can dry rapidly to a matte or glossy finish, it was used by artists such as Barnett Newman, Morris Louis, and Roy Lichtenstein. Ito po yung lagayan niya, no? So, lagayan pa lang, medyo mas may presyo na. Okay, ganyan po yung mga so sa ano natin, sa way of living natin, sa ating economic status, medyo may kamahalan na siya. Okay? Pero kung kayo po ay may kakayanan sa buhay, kayang-kaya niyo to. Kayo pa ba? Okay, punta tayo. So tapos na tayo sa painting. Punta tayo sa sculpture. So when we say sculpture, it is the art of making two or three-dimensional representative or abstract forms, especially by carving stone or wood or by casting metal or plaster. So what are the materials in sculpture? Napakarami. Una is yung hard materials. The most recognizable and most popular form of sculpture has been created with the hard materials. The oldest form of sculpture is hard materials kasi nga ang una pong mga material is mga natural kagaya ng bato, mga muds, ayan po yung mga sinaunang sculpture. Later na lang yung mga yung mga glass. Oo. Modern version na yan. Statues, kinetic sculptures, and environmental sculptures are example of sculpture that use hard material as a medium. So ito po yung mga hard materials. Usually concrete, bronze, clay, stone, marble, granite, limestone, alabaster, sandstone, and so on, so forth. Napakarami po. So ibig sabihin, kung kukumparahin natin si painting at si sculpture, mas marami kayong pagpipilian kay sculpture. Nasa hard materials pa lang tayo. Okay, made of marble. Yung David ni Michelangelo. And other hard materials. Ano naman yung sound sculpture? Okay, sound sculpture is known as a sound installation because the sculpture are regularly installed in art galleries. Famous sound sculptors are Alexander Calder, Davis, Hellier. Sound sculptures differ from musical instruments in that they are not manipulated by human player to make a sound. They simply make a sound on their own due to their design. Kumbaga kapag natamaan ng hangin, nahampasan ng alon, due to natural. Natural. Kagaya nito, Julius Wynne Pavilion in London. So tingnan natin yung example. So try ko i-present sa inyo since naka-online naman tayo. Yulus Wind Pavilion. Okay, pa-present natin. Kano experience? Pati yung sound. So, wait lang ah. Share ko.
It's pretty cool from this side.
Okay, mamaya. I-present naman natin yung isa. Yung sea organ. So, kung mapapansin nyo, may mga sound siya, no? Kung naririnig, no? Sa Croatia naman tong isa. Sa Croatia. Zadar Sea Organ in Croatia. Ito kapag nahahampasan naman ng alon, tsaka nagpo-proceed na makakapag-produce ng sound. Naka-low tide pa kasi. So, yan siya. Hahanapan natin ng ano. Sea organ sounds. Yung mas maganda sana. Yung mas malakas yung alon. Depende sa hangin na humahampas yung sounds niya. So that is sea organ in Croatia. So ginawa po siya ni present ko muna ulit ni Nikola Basic. At yung Wind Pavilion ay gawa naman ni Luke Jeram. Gagaling nila, no? Napaka-innovative. Very artistic. Okay, proceed tayo next. Light sculptures naman po are unique type of medium because they are using various form of light or lightning to create an aesthetic effect. The medium of light may use fractal manipulation or gaseous forms of light, electricity to produce an image. Some light sculptures produce light due to the hard materials in sculpture while others are not but light mismo. Minsan depende sa tama ng araw. Yung iba naman talagang kailangan ng electricity. Okay, parang may ilaw sa loob. The most famous light sculptors are Olafur Eliasson and Dan Flavin. Okay, tignan natin yung Your Rainbow Panorama, kung ano yung experience kapag pakita rin natin para meron din kayong Your Rainbow pakita natin. Tignan natin na para mas maganda. Tapos next natin si Team Lab, The Infinite Crystal. Ito yung nasa loob ka. Grabe yung experience yan. Light sculpture. Part pa rin siya ng architecture, pero yan kasi ay dinesign din. Oh, walang iba yung sounds ha. Iba-iba yung kulay, no? Ang galing. Oh, that is the outside appearance. Oo. So then next natin is try natin yung Team Lab, the Infinite Crystal. So para tayo na saan nito, alam nyo ano, Into the Unknown. Sa kanta ni ano, okay, we'll present another tab. Yan, Infinite Crystal. May mga palamuti, may mga nakasabit, ganun. Pero ang ganda ng appearance. The next natin yung Paris Art Museum. Okay, proceed tayo sa next. Usually, ang gawa po ni Kitsunyer ay may mga lights, installation talaga. May mga ganyan. So, mahilig siya sa ganyan. Wait lang ah. So, ganun pa yung mga style niya. Okay, next proceed tayo sa next presentation. Allow me to present another tab. Okay, pinakita lang natin yung mga sample. Okay po tayo kay architecture. So, architecture is the art and technique of designing and building as distinguished from the skills associated with construction. So, it is both the process and the product of sketching, conceiving, planning, designing, and constructing buildings or other structures. So, the practice of architecture is employed with the fulfill both practical and expressive requirements. Kasi nga po, kailangan graduate ka ng architecture, lalo na kapag gusto mo talaga mag-design. Kasi makakasuhan ka pag hindi. Pero ngayon, napakarami po nakakapagawa ng bahay nang wala naman talagang architect. Okay po? Pero kung gusto mo talaga, quality, may pera ka, talagang gusto mo ng magandang design, at syempre matibay, dalawa kasi dapat nagkakaroon ng coordination, architecture tsaka engineer. Kasi si engineer, durability. Si architecture, syempre, sa design. Oo. Panoorin niyo yung kay, sino ba ito? Oliver. Austria. Yan, yung architecture. O, nung pandemic, yun yung pinapanood ko. Okay? Architecture. The characteristics that distinguish a work of architecture from other built structures are the suitability of the artwork used by man or human being in general and the adaptability of it to particular human activities, to the stability and permanence of the work's construction, and three, the communication of experience and ideas through its form. All these conditions must be met in architecture. The second is constant, while the first and third vary in relative importance according to the social function of buildings. If the function is chiefly utilitarian, as in a factory, communication is of less importance. If the function is chief expressive, as in a monumental tomb, utility is a minor concern. In some buildings, such as churches and city halls, utility and communication may be of equal importance. Kumbaga, nagdedepende rin pala yun sa kanilang functions. Okay, we have different architectural types as follow. So, domestic architecture, vernacular, power architecture, religious, governmental, recreational architect, commercial, and industrial architecture. Yung example po ng mga power architecture, yan yung sa NGCP. Oo, protected po siya, hindi siya basta-basta. Religious architecture, yung mga churches natin, governmental architecture, yung mga munisipyo, recreational architecture, yan yung mga parks natin, kagaya ng, yung malapit na sa atin mismo, People's Park, ano pa, ito, Esplanade, architecture or welfare and education, usually DSWD, and yung mga schools. Commercial and industrial architecture, usually mga buildings for businesses, may rental, and so on. Next, we have materials in the sculptures, or architectures rather. O, kasi, kaya ako nabanggit na sculpture, possible kasi, yung ginagamit kay sculpture, nagagamit din kay architecture. Kagaya ng stone, bricks, woods, iron and steel, and concrete. So, meron tayong tinatawag na methods in architecture. We have wall. First is the load-bearing wall. So, si load-bearing wall, ito siya. Yung nagbubuhat talaga. Kumbaga yung mismong pader, yung pinanggagalingan. Kaya yung mga non-bearing wall naman, usually, yung mga additional na lang siya. Hindi masyado. Kapag tinanggal natin, hindi magigibay-bahay. Unlike kapag kay load-bearing wall, kapag yan ay tinibag mo, maguguho yung bahay. Okay? Next, we have post and lintel. Si post and lintel is parang yung sa hamba ng mga pintuan natin. The simplest illustration of load and support in construction in the post and lintel system, it's in which two upright members, post columns, piers, hold up a third member, lintel, beam, girder, rafter, laid horizontally across their top. Sa mga bahay natin, ganyan talaga. Diyan natin kinuha yan. Yung parang wall, mas pinalapad lang, yung dalawa, yung poste, then yung lintel, yung parang nagsisilbing bubong. Arc. So the arc can be called a curved lintel. Early masonry builders could span only narrow opening because of the necessary shortness and weight of monolithic stone lintels. Makakapal yan. Makakapal yan. Next, we have vault. Meron tayong mga arc ngayon, yung mga yan sa BGC. Welcome to BGC. Barangay Gumaok Central. Welcome to Gaya Gaya. Welcome to Muzon. Welcome to Sapampalay proper, mga ganon. So, hindi ko lang alam kung may Sapampalay proper talaga. Next, vault. The evolution of the vault begins with the discovery of the arc. So because the basic barrel form which appeared first in ancient Egypt and the Near East, it is simply a deep or three-dimensional arc. Kumbaga, si arc ay entry and exit lang possible, ganon. Ito po, may cross-section. May cross-section siya. Okay? Since the barrel vault exerts thrust as As the arc does, it must be buttressed along its entire length by heavy walls in which opening must be limited in size and number. This is a disadvantage since it inhibits light and circulation. Okay? Punta tayo sa dome. Domes appeared first on round huts and tombs in the ancient Near East, India, and the Mediterranean region, but only as a solid mounds or in techniques adaptable only to the smallest buildings. So ito po, meron po siyang functions kung bakit ganyan. Usually sa mga Catholic, 'di ba meron tayong mga ah, music, no? Para mas mag-bounce siya, para yung tinatawag nating naka-auto reverb kung baka tawagin natin. So echo is different from reverb. Magkaiba po 'yan. Okay. So yun po yung ating lesson ngayon. So, wag na tong question, wag niyo na 'tong sagutin. Kasi alam ko na rin naman yung gagawin ninyo. So, record everything that you know in this lesson. Kumbaga, learning lag tayo. Learning lag. Okay, lahat na natutunan ninyo ngayong araw or yung mga, at least yung mga na-note nyo man lang habang kayo ay nakikinig ng lesson, isubmit nyo po as response to our learning lag. I hope you learned something from this video kahit medyo nagjo-choke ako dahil sa aking sipon at medyo inuubo din. Oo. So, pasensya na kayo. God bless and keep safe sa inyong lahat. Okay, for our next activity. So, sana power face-to-face na tayo. God bless and keep safe. Goodbye.